Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Regina's World. This is a special video because this was actually supposed to be a vlog. And I turned out I just didn't want to do a vlog. I just wanted to do a sit down video and explain this video. So first, let's introduce who I am. My name is Regina. I live right here in the heart of Las Vegas. I do vlogs, sit down with me, story times, all that kind of stuff. And this one was supposed to be a vlog, but it turns out to be kind of a story time, sit down with me kind of situation. So I wanted to explain this video in its entirety this night of my experience at the Green Door. If you don't know what the Green Door is, it's a sex club out here, or swingers club out here right in Las Vegas. It's something very familiar with a brothel. We have brothels here in Las Vegas in different parts of Las Vegas. And like the place that Lamar Odom went to have his little binge with prostitutes and women and drugs or whatever. So it's one of those kind of clubs. If you have to have an open mind and pretty much a liberal spirit to go into indulge in something like this. So the purpose of a sit down and not a vlog was because two reasons. First, I couldn't because it was violating people's rights. So I couldn't record what was going on in there. And secondly, it was a while since I hung out with my friend and I wanted to be involved in the night. I didn't want me to be attached to my phone every second and wanted to record every second because it takes away the moment and the connection that you're like literally having with somebody and what you're doing. So I put the phone away and just let the night play out exactly how it played out. And it turned out it was the best decision that I could possibly make because it made me actually be involved in what I was doing and actually enjoy what I was doing. And I had a fantastic night with the camera down. But doesn't mean I wasn't going to come and tell my audience what happened when I was at the Green Door. So if you're interested in this video, right now, pause, hit the subscribe button right below. And then share this video if you care to help me grow my channel. Every day I'm getting more and more subscribers. So thank you, all my new subscribers. And thank you for my loyal followers who've been following me since day one. And who's watching me slowly grow this channel, subscriber by subscriber. So first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. And continue to subscribe for everybody who's finding me. Hit that subscribe button right now. And let's get into this video. All right, so this is how this night started. I'm going to start from the beginning of the night all the way to the end of the night, okay? So this was already pre-planned between me and my friend because I was talking to my sister previously about going to the Green Door. We just happened to be having a conversation. And I found out during that conversation with my sister that my sister's a frequent goer to the Green Door. So I was like, I've never been. I was been interested, but I never actually been to see what it was like. I've heard several things over the past years that, it's a very creepy place, all this stuff. The men is very creepy in there. So I just never went, and I never knew anybody who actually wanted to go. So I never even brought it up. No matter all the stuff that I've done here in Las Vegas, I've never brought it up, right? So I was talking to my friend, it just happened to be on the phone with her and telling her about what I was just talking to my sister about. And she was like, oh my God, I want to go to the Green Door too. I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. So we mutually decided to go to the Green Door. And it was her birthday weekend. So she was living it up for the entire weekend. And this was kind of the icing on the cake. So I go and pick her up. We were both anxious the entire week. We were so nervous the entire week. So Friday night come, I went to go pick her up from our house. This is the same day I got let go from my job unexpectedly. So I didn't pay for anything. She flipped the bill for the entire night, which again, thank you very much. Online for women, it's like $25 or something online. At the door, it was like between 40 to 50 bucks at the door. And then we go in, we pull up at the Green Door. We was in the car first talking about it, and she gave me a lot of gifts. Oh, actually, this is something that was a part of the gift. She gave me one of these, and in my room, it's a big, which I love. I wear this the other day too. Thanks, Tori. And she gave me a big bag of a whole bunch of stuff, Victoria's Secrets, and it was a necklace with my initials R on it that I was wearing that night. And what else was it? It was some bracelets that I had on that night, and it was a whole bunch of stuff that she gave me, some Victoria's Secret lotion and sprays and whatever. So I loved every bit of it, you know. And then we was just hanging out in the car, catching up or whatever. So eventually we goes into the green door. And then you pay, and then they give you a wristband. And that wristband allows you to be in and out of the green door from the time you get the wristband until 6 a.m. in the morning. So if you wanted to leave to go to the club or go to the dinner, you can always come back anytime from that time to the 6 in the morning when they close. So when we got there, it wasn't too many women there yet at this point, but it was some men hanging around at the club, and these pretty much look like regulars who's kind of always there. So me and Tori is just walking through it because they have several rooms. And I'll put a couple rooms here. You know, there was a dungeon. The dungeon is something that I was interested in seeing because I saw it online. And I personally is into that kind of stuff, like ball gags. When I'm watching porn, that's the kind of porn I usually watch. I like really hardcore porn. So I like, I like stuff like that. So I was interested in seeing the dungeon, and in the dungeon they had like a swing and had like a bar which you were strapped on, and it wasn't as extreme as it was in my mind that it was going to be, but it had some stuff in there that was a little extreme. So and then they had an orgy room. I think one of these pictures may be an orgy room, and then they had a couples room and stuff like that. So there were several rooms throughout this building. So we walked in each one of them, and at this time it was empty. So we was able to see what each room was giving. We was able to talk to the staff and everybody who was actually there. And then we took a notice as we were walking that we were being followed because we were, as I said, we were like the only women there. It was maybe a few others, but we were the only two like single women who was just us two women. The other two women that was there was like with the man. So we was being followed by the men. And when we took notice, we were like, can we get a little space? Like we just cruising. And then we walked into this one room, and then it was this, I don't even know what you call it. You know how you go into like a carnival and it's like the picture thing, and you and your friend and they're taking pictures? It was like that, but it's not pictures. It had holes in there. So you was in there, so all the men can stick their peen in these holes, and you get what I'm talking about. So I'm asking, like, what is this? And then the man showed me, and he literally pulled it out in front of me and was like, you want to practice? I'm like, not yet. I'm just filling everything out. I mean, you can put that back in your pants, but thanks very much. So we go upstairs. Upstairs is pretty much where all the action is because that's where the couples room is and the orgy room and all of the stuff. So once we got upstairs, as we're walking, we walked right into I think this was the orgy room. And we wasn't in it. We were walking down the hallway. And in this hallway, you get to look through the windows and you get to see them in there having sex. Since we wasn't in there, we wasn't able to hear anything, but we saw everything because you're literally looking through this window. And I was like, oh my God, like there was no shame. It was big old bed, and there's like 2 or 3 couples on this bed pretty much having sex with each other. Like literally, she was sucking this and he was sucking that, and she was riding this and he was riding that. Like they were like having sex with each other, okay? And then there was like 2 other couples in there. They wasn't in the bed. They was sitting on the couch part. And then the men was they was getting sloppy toppy, if you will. So now it's becoming really real at this point. Like, okay, this is really happening. So there was another couple there that, of course, she was a woman, but she was with her boyfriend, and they was visiting from out of the town. And then I was like, "Are y'all gonna do nothing?" They was like, "No, we're just looking." And I was like, "Oh, y'all peeping Tom, just like me. I'm a peeping Tom tonight because my mind is kind of messed up right now." So after we left from that room, that wasn't too bad. It was like the I don't say like when you're revving up a car, like that was the warm up. Because I didn't know how bad this was finna get, or how extreme this was finna get. That was literally like the warm up to what we was about to be exposed to. So we went to this, like, it's supposed to be like a bar, but they don't sell alcohol in there. And you may be like, why don't they sell alcohol? Same question I asked. I'm like, this is a good time to get a drink. So they was like, they don't sell alcohol because some people can't handle their liquor. So they don't want anything to go wrong while they're in there, while people is drunk on alcohol and intoxicated. They don't want to be the responsible parties of, men being belligerent or being violent towards women or anything like that. So they don't want anything taken away from the purpose of why people in there, and that is to have sex. So no alcohol is sold, but you get water because a lot of sex is had. So they need to keep you hydrated so you don't like pass out or anything. And people come in there obviously intoxicated off of something, under the influence of something. Even if it's not alcohol, they definitely are under influence of something. If you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, if you know what I'm saying. So we sitting at the bar and I was talking because how to get me here, you need to get me here. So I'm talking to my people that even the men that pretty much followed us throughout the place, they followed us to the bar. So I was like, well, I need to talk to the people, So I'm communicating with the lady at the bar, and then the men that was around us, I was communicating with them too. My friend, she was not interested in any of this anyway. She had a mission for us being there. And I'll get to that in a moment. But I needed to feel a little bit more comfortable. And the more I talk to people, that's how I get comfortable with you. I need to communicate with you. So me and the bartender immediately kind of hit it off. She was like, she asked me what was my sign or whatever. And I was like, I'm a Capricorn. And she was like, oh, no wonder why I'm drawn to you. I'm like, what? And she was like, oh, I'm a Taurus. I said, oh, we have to, yeah, that's natural. We're magnetic to each other. Like, that's so natural. I'm like, of course she was going to be drawn to me. I'm like, it's just inevitable. I'm like, but, so me and her was like just talking. Then my friend was like, let's go to the bar next door. So we was able to go there's a gay bar next door. So I was like, okay, so we're going to go down back to the bar. And we hung out at the bar for like an hour and a half. This bar was actually pretty litty. I actually kind of liked it. So at this night, it was not trans night, drag queen night. So there was performance with the drag queen. If I was thinking, I would have recorded this part. But I wasn't, because I just had my phone down. I wasn't even on it. So drag queen night was great. The drag queens was beautiful. I was in awe. That was maybe my second time ever seeing a drag queen in person. They're fucking beautiful. You go drag queens. They're fucking beautiful. I was in awe of this one lady. I was like, oh my God, you're so pretty. I'm like, but drag queens are so pretty to me. So shout out to drag queens out there. I love you guys. And so then I meet a guy at the bar. He was a straight guy. And I just was, once again, just sparked up a conversation because that's what I do. Low key, anytime I go out when I'm in a setting of a bar, club, anything, I always, subconsciously, consciously find a man to communicate with. Doesn't matter the race. But I know I have an intention when I go to the bar, and that is never to pay for a drink. So I happened to just be standing next to somebody. Tori had bought me a drink anyway. She bought me a Long Island. So I was just happened to be next to a man next to me, and I just started talking to him. And then we just kept talking. We exchanged numbers. He started buying me tequila shots, blah, 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 blah. You get the point. She bought me one drink. He bought me the rest. By the time I left up out of that bar, I was completely drunk. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the point anytime I go anywhere, is to find me a man who can pay for my drinks. Ladies, you don't pay for your drinks when you look like this. Let them do that. Okay. So we go back to the bar because she was ready to go, because we was in there for an hour and a half, and I was just kicking with old boy. I don't even remember his name, but it doesn't matter, I guess. So we get back to the bar. When we get back to the bar, things have took a turn. Okay, a complete turn because we walked into a whole bunch of people. We smack dab it. We was only gone for like an hour and a half, and that's all it took for all these people to show up. It was shoulder to shoulder, people up in there walking past each other in the hallway. Me and Tori, we held each other's hand the entire time at this point because it was so many people we didn't want to get separated. So we was hands locked like this. We was like, you bitch, you stay with me, okay? So we walked, there was 2 black men who was coming this way as we were coming this way. They followed us right into the room that we was already in watching the people have sex. I think these was the same people still in there having sex. But again, I don't really know. But if I'm thinking about it, it did look like the same people that was in there already having sex. And they were just still having sex. And so they walked right in there and followed us in. One guy grabbed her boobs and all. And she's like, excuse me, And then the other guy got me like, can I eat your cat? But, he said the other word. And I was like, no, I'm good. Thanks though. And he like, you sure, baby? I want to eat that cat. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. So we leave them because I didn't want them to get any ideas. Like, no, we don't want to have sex. That's our dates. But no dates. So we leave them and got lost in the crowd. And we ended up in this other room. I don't even know what room we was in. But this room blew my wig back. Do you understand? Oh, the way back. Okay. So it was this lady. She was a Mexican, had to be no more than between 30s and 40s. Okay. Obviously high off something. She probably was at the bar next door, got litty, and came back over here. She was definitely under the influence of something because she took so many hot dogs. I'm trying to think of a good name. She took about 10 hot dogs in a row. Okay. We watched her take one hot dog after another. And they released on her, in her, on her, in her. 10 men, one after another. And she just laid there with legs up, and they just entered her one after another. My friend grabbed my hand because she wanted to get closer. I said, hold on, we don't want to get too close because I don't want them to think that we're next, that we're finna engage in this, because we're not. And she's like, no, we're not. I just want to see you. We're literally standing behind them. Like, she's on the table. She's getting bangs. We're literally standing behind the man who's banging her like this. We're literally right here in eye view. Like, and once he's done, the next one, while he's doing this, the next one who's waiting is like this right behind him. Keep getting himself ready. As soon as he's done, the next one, just go ahead and do his thing. My mind, all I can think of at this very moment, the only thing that I can think of at this very moment, oh my God, I hope she goes to the doctor Monday morning, because I get it. If she's under the influence, which I'm sure she is, because if I was in my head the entire time. If she's under the influence of, like, there's no controlling herself. Like, once she gets started, there's no stopping. Like, and it was obvious to me that she absolutely was, and especially with the guy that I was talking to was a seller of street narcotics. I was like, she absolutely has indulged herself into street narcotics before she walked up in here, because there was no way in her sober mind that she would take 10 hot dogs at once like that, one after another. No way. But it was mind-blowing. It was. So eventually she gets up, and then the line is over. The room empties. We leave and go to another room. This room, where did we go to? I think we went to another couple's room downstairs. And this couple's room, 5 couples was already in there. Everyone walked in there. We were just trying to get ourselves a break, from everything that we were seeing. So we were just trying to give ourselves a break. Real talk. So we walk into this room, and then there was 4 couples. 4 couples already in there. On this table, there was a lady getting oral sex. On this table, there was a lady giving oral sex. In this chair over here, she was riding her man. And then in this chair over here, she was riding her man. I was sitting in the back chair just watching all of this. My friend was sitting in a chair in the front watching the other lady get oral sex. I was texting my sister, telling my sister everything that I was seeing. And she was like, I told you, girl, it's a lot. You have to literally be prepared to walk into something like this, because in a normal circumstance, you're not. This is their atmosphere. So, this isn't like a normal person atmosphere. You think you're freaky until you walk into something like the Green Door, then you realize I ain't got nothing on these people, okay? Nothing. My sister said when she watched a man ask the men there. I don't know, I forgot the name, and she called it cloaker, something like that. But he gets off watching other men bang his wife. So you have to literally be ready for something like that. I thought I was, but I really, truly wasn't ready for the stuff that I was seeing up in there. Like, I just wasn't ready. So we leave out of this room and we go to the dungeon. And in the dungeon, as I said, there was somebody hanging. This time, since it was actual people there, there was somebody locked into the thing, getting banged. There was somebody in the swing with her legs open just like this, getting banged. Child, me and her just sat at the table just watching it. Like we were literally just watching everything, because it was just so much happening all at once. Like my mind was like going off, just like it was just going off. And surprisingly, none of it really turned me on. Like, none of it. I was just like in shock. Maybe because I was so in shock of everything I was seeing, I couldn't really get in the mood. Like, cause I wasn't like turned on. Like, I really wasn't. I was literally like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it was just live porn. Like, literally live porn just in front of me. So I said, maybe if it was like, no shade to the people who's there, but I said, maybe I probably would have been turned on if I would have saw people of my own color there. Like, there was a sprinkle of people of my own color, or not just my own color, but people of color. Let's just say, a lot of Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Latin people, Black people, whatever, but just people of color, Brazilians. If it was a lot more mixture of folk, then maybe it would have, aroused me a little bit more. And maybe, hell, I probably would have joined in if it was the right, setting and a group of people who I was actually just like, oh my God, he's drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God. Maybe I would have been all in. But because I don't think I was really attracted or into anybody that was there, I was not really interested in really doing anything or getting involved with anybody, because it was nobody that I really wanted to get involved with. If that makes any kind of sense. I hope I'm explaining this well for you guys to understand. So we get to we're walking, and there was a guy who I thought my friend was going to end up banging, because she kept referencing him, because I think he at this time, he was the only Black man that she liked or was kind of interested in. But I kept trying to set her up with him, and she kept like, nah, that's okay. But by the end of all this, she did meet someone who she actually was interested in. And she got down with him. I'm not going to go into detail everything what happened, but she did get down with him. And, that is what it is. She did her thing. Um, uh, but the green door is a place where I would say you should go at least once, just for the experience. If you're in Vegas, if you're coming to visit Vegas, I think just keep an open mind and just go, either to just get your mind blown or to just for the experience. Just say you went, and you don't have to tell anybody, or you can tell whoever you want, or you can take whoever you want. One of my other friends asked, would I ever go again? I said, I don't know. Maybe if I went with a man, it may make a difference if I met with a man. But just going with my girlfriend, I probably would never go again going with my girlfriend because, I don't know. Myself, I probably wouldn't go again. Well, I'm sure I would never go by myself. It's just too dangerous. No. I probably, if I went, it would be with a man, just so I can feel a little bit more protected, because when it's just you girls, you're just like a steak on a stick. Oh, and by the way, when I was sitting at the bar, this lady had came up. She was an older lady, and this is how I found out about the underground stuff. She is a frequent to the underground life and going to the sex houses or whatever. She walked in, no shirt on, bustier and a thong. And I was like, oh, that's how we dress. And she was like, no, I had on a shirt in the car, but once I got in here, I took that thing off. I feel I'm free in here. This is where I usually come to relax and hang out, and this is how I live my life, and blah blah blah. And she was telling me this is how she's been, she's been a swinger for a very, very long time, and she enjoyed it, blah blah blah. So talking to the people, they're very liberal and they're very open. You have to be to live in a lifestyle like that. You have to be non-judgmental people. And, I dig that. Could I do it? Probably not. I'm open-minded. I don't care how you live with your life, but I wouldn't say I would be a swinger, because I don't know. Once again, I wouldn't even say that. I would say it. I don't know. I don't even have an answer. I wouldn't say I'm not a swinger. I wouldn't say I am a swinger. I would say, if put me in a right setting, who knows what I would do. Okay. That probably just wasn't my setting, because I wasn't attracted to anyone in particular there. But put me in a setting where I'm attracted to the people, then Regina may act a little different. Regina may do a little thing for a little piece of change. You understand? So, but I still wouldn't call myself a swinger. I would just, I guess, say that I'm open. That I'm open to trying things. I've pretty much been free my entire life when it comes to sex and everything else. Why close off myself? Or now, I'm 37 now. Like, whatever. I'm pretty open, and I'm not. But just put me in the right setting, in a more, comfortable. Probably a sex house would probably be more my thing, if anything, because that was too. I don't know. It was just too much going on. And so, but anyway, after we decided to leave, after she had her interaction with old fella, we ended up going to Denny's. I think it was Denny's. We ended up going to Denny's right down the street, and she flipped a bill for the meal too. And I loved him. I forgot what did I think I had an omelet. I think. And then we was out to like 3-some, 4-some in the morning. I was supposed to go see a client. She went straight to work. She literally worked down the street at the Sahara. And I was supposed to go see a client, and I just was too drunk. I couldn't get out of bed the next day. So I just canceled all my clients for that day. But overall, I will give the green door, if I was to rate it, 1 was the worst, 10 was the best, I would say about a 6-7. It was about a 6-7. For me, it was about a 6-7 because I didn't really interact and do anything. I couldn't really judge it because on a fun scale, because I don't know how to judge it. I just don't know how to judge it. I would just give it a 6 to 7 on the experience. I wouldn't say it wasn't fun because I actually had a great night. Like I had a fantastic night, believe it or not. It was just a lot to take in one night. So I would just say, yes, I do recommend going to the Green Door, whether you live here in Vegas or you're coming in to visit and you heard about it. I would actually say, yes, go. If you're a swinger, go. If you're not a swinger, you just want to have some fun with your dude or your girlfriend or whatever, go. Enjoy yourself. Have a great night. Because you're definitely going to have an experience of a lifetime going in there once in a lifetime, or if you decided to go back a few times. It's definitely an experience of a lifetime. So I'm going to end it here because I know this video got a little lengthy. And so like, comment, share, and subscribe. Right now, today, it's the beginning of February. I mean, my month of vlogs is almost over. I think this is day 19 probably that this is going up. So I have a few more videos to create to complete out my February vlogs all month. And that is that. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.